Well, I think the first thing that we have to do when we look at this idea of spiritual and physical is to no longer make a division between the two. I think that's the biggest mistake that is made in the whole community of people who are calling themselves, quote, spiritual people. That spirituality isn't something that is separate from the physical world. The Tao, which is just another word for the source or for God or for spirit or for the great force that animates all of life and creates everything, is everywhere. And if you stop the dividing and carving it up and looking for it in one place and not in another, and begin to see it everywhere, in everything that you look at, balance will be immediately restored for yourself. See, most of us, we live in a world where we are constantly told that there's evil and that there's bad and that there's things that shouldn't be, and that all of these dichotomies and splits and things the way that we carve up the world. But the fact is that there's only one source, there's only one Tao, there's only one God. And this source is, it's in a spider web, and it's even in the plastic. It's in the industrial waste that we create on our planet. It's in a tire, and it's in a bird, and it's in virtually every cloud and the ocean. And I could just go on and on for the next 6 hours trying to reiterate this point, that spirituality is all, and it's everywhere, and there's no place that it is not. So first of all, stop dividing it up. Stop looking for, assuming that it's someplace else. And right now, in this very moment, just gaze wherever you are, whatever room you're in, or if you're outdoors, if you're on a cell phone, if you're driving in your car, if you're in your living room or whatever, just look around, look out the window, and just begin to bless every single thing that you find in your life. This is the surest and the quickest and the most important way to get out of what some people call the rat race. I heard it referred to as they were describing this program here today. This rat race. There's no rat race out there. That's just a term that we have invented because we don't know really how to go within and stay calm and find the peace that's within each and every one of us. There's no anxiety out there. There's no pressure out there. There's no depression out there. All of these things are something that we have created for ourselves in our lives, in our own minds. And when you begin to see God everywhere, and it's one of the things that I talk about when I talk a lot about manifesting and how to create things for yourself in your life. There's a story told of a little boy, and he was living in India, something like the 12th or the 13th century. And everywhere this little boy would go, he would just perform miracles. He was what they call an avatar. People would be healed just by being in his presence. And he was like living Christ consciousness. He didn't take on an ego when he came into this world. And everywhere he'd go, there'd be miracles around him. And there was such a calmness and a peacefulness about him. And all of the people gathered around him, and some of the elders in the tribe went to him and said, I'll give you, and they tried to bribe him. They said, I'll give you an orange if you can tell me where God is. And he stopped, and he looked at them, and he said, I'll give you 2 oranges if you can tell me where God isn't. The reasoning or the thinking behind what this great avatar was saying is that if God is everywhere, then God must be in you. And if God is everywhere and God is in you, God must also be in all of the things that you wish that you could have in your life, so that in some immeasurable, invisible way, you're already connected to every single thing in this universe through this thing that we call God, or the Tao, or the Spirit, or the Source, or the Divine Mind, so that it is in us and it's everywhere else. So we are connected, literally connected to everything that we want for ourselves in our life. And then what we do is we separate ourselves from that in our minds, and we begin to believe that we're something separate from that. And in the process of doing that, we get ourselves into this, quote, rat race. We begin to say to ourselves that we must have more. I don't have enough. I'm not as good as somebody else. I must be. And just this morning, I was writing on the 54th verse of the Tao. And the 54th verse of the Tao, Lao Tzu says that Tao is everywhere. It has become everything. To truly see it as it is. See it in a person, see it in the family, see it in the country, see it in the world. And this is the whole essence of all of it, that there is nothing for you to be divided from. And again, keep in mind that you came from a place of oneness. Oneness means that it can't be divided. We came into this world and we began to see dichotomies. We began to see what Lao Tzu called the 10,000 things. So we have ups and downs and rights and wrongs and males and females and yins and yangs. and all of these dichotomies and divisions that we've created in our life. But the fact is that we came from a place that doesn't have anything like that, and we're going back to a place that is exactly like that. The effort, the goal, what I'm writing about right now and what I'm encouraging you here today is to, while you're here in this world of yin and yang and of opposites and beginnings and ends, norths and souths, and all of these divisions, as long as you're in this world that is like that, make every effort in your mind to return to the oneness, return to the place where there are no divisions, and you're ultimately totally in balance, and you begin to see God everywhere.